Hello everyone, it is I, the second antagonizer, coming to bring you a video on fixing texture corruption in Shadow Man 2, Second Coming. So basically, this is kind of what you're going to see with the corruption. So right now I'm running PCSX2 2.2 version. Um, and unfortunately, this texture issue is appearing in this version of the emulator. So this video is specifically related to fixing that issue for that version of PCSX2. Um, yeah, so there on earlier versions on 1.7, I believe they did mention a fix for the texture issue, but that was since removed from the version. I think maybe something else happened in their upgrades, and it just something happened to the fix or whatever, but it's not being applied anymore. So yeah, I'm just gonna take you guys through that very quickly. Actually, not very quickly. It's kind of complicated. But let me just kind of close this game here. Yes, I'm sure. So I've modified, and so this is basically my file of Shadow Man. I've got a bin file here that I'm running it from. If you have a .iso, should be the same for a .iso. Yeah. And this is the European, so PAL version PS2 for Shadow Man 2. Your region, this fix might not work depending on your region. If you have a really weird region or something like that, should work with the UK region just fine. If you refer to the documentation here, mentions the corrupted texture issues. As you can see that I showed you before, it was just a bunch of like kind of a checker box like textures that are just appearing everywhere that I showed you previously. And so basically the fix is just replacing hex values within the ISO file or the bin file in my case itself specifically. So you just find this hex value, replace it with this one as they state here. So to do that, you basically have to open your ISO or bin file within a program called HXD. This is what I'm using. There's plenty of other hex editors, but this is just what I recommend. It's pretty simple, does the job. So I'm not an expert on this stuff, but does the job. So basically, I'll leave a link for the website about the fix here, so you guys can check it out yourself. I'll just leave it in the description, but I'm gonna walk you through anyway, so it doesn't really matter. You can just go in and copy the hex values, pretty much. So basically, you go to Tools, open Disk Image, and then you just select your bin file. Open it up here. So you want to select CD DVD from the drop-down list. It's the right one there. Go OK. Cool. Have a drink. And after this, you just basically want to do Control F, and you want to search for. I believe this is the correct value here. I've got the values. These are the same hex values in the website, by the way. I just copied them here for convenience. And so you just want to basically search for the hex value here. Paste it and just make sure that's correct. And yep, you'll find it here. It'll pop up in the file. And you just want to do kind of a replace on this, but you just want to do a search first just to ensure that you've copied it correctly. If you're copying it directly from the website, here I'll probably leave the hex values in the description. If not, just copy it from the website. You want to be careful copying all of this, because if you just do a copy and paste like this, I tried this and I did a Control C to copy it, but it only copied the first line, and it only pasted the first line in the HXD program. It was really annoying, and I was like, why can't I and then when I did the replace, it only replaced like the first line, so it didn't actually do it properly in the game. Didn't show the fixes. So you want to see a nice big chunk like this. That's about like, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines long. So you see that nice big chunk, and you want to make sure that well, you'll know when you search it anyway, because you won't be able to find it correctly if you haven't pasted it in, but you want to kind of verify kind of the first 3 hex values, and so the last 3 hex values in the first 3 to kind of check that it's all good when you paste it in, because this can be fiddly, and if it doesn't work for you, it's probably because you haven't pasted it in properly. So just keep that in mind before you comment saying it's not working. Yeah, so to do a Sorry to do a search. It was Control F, by the way. I don't know if I specified that, but it's Control F. So sorry if I didn't specify that. But to do a replace, it's just Control R. And so this does the replace here. You can have. Oh yeah. Also, when you do the search, select hex values, not text string. It'll by default pop up as text string. Again, apologies for that. There's a lot of steps in here and a lot of configurations, but it's hex values. Go to hex values specifically, search it for there. So Control R, make sure you're on hex values. So you have your original. So you have your. Let's see here. Let me bring this up. You have your search for the top one, and replace was the bottom one here. Just got to correlate them. Yeah. And so, let's see here. Yep. So you're gonna make sure the replace one's all good. And so when after you've done the replacement one, I'm just gonna make sure that's all good here. I've already got the values copied in, but just in case to be on the safe side, I'm gonna recopy them kind of in there to make sure it's all good. Paste. B here. Okay. And then you're just gonna do. You just don't have to do replace all. It should only be one value, so you don't have to worry about replace all. Cool. Forward, no problem. Oh, sorry. Before doing this replace all, you might need to do what's forward. I think search iteration, search direction. You want to do kind of all of it and not forward. Because I think forward just goes from where I'm currently am and down, which we don't want to do that. Let's just go for all of it. And let's do a okay here. Yep, full search direction. Yep. We go through, and then you should see it replace it here. So you see the red values, and you should see it's about 6 lines long. Okay, and what you can do to ensure that everything's all good, or everything's worked correctly, you can do a Control F, and you can search for the replaced value instead of the original value. Right? Do a Shift End, and let's copy it here. And let's do all. So we just go for the whole thing and don't start from scratch. Okay. And it selects the same one, which is good. It's all good. All right. So we've double checked that, and that's fine. Cool. So now we want to do save. So now we actually saved to the new bin file. Don't worry, it automatically creates a backup if you're worried about making a mistake. It's not a big deal. You can just go in and modify the backup in the same directory from which you've opened the file. So you see a .back will be created with the original file when you save this. Save. Yep, there you go. .back is right there. I've got a modified one here. This modified one, this is the previous one that I've kind of fixed. I just put it in there just in case, but yeah. So the .bin, so that's all good. And so now, minimize that. We want to open PCSX2 or whatever it's called. Better man. So if you have a previous save state, don't use the save state, because I'll show you right now. You can see the texture is not fixed at all. Is this the save state? Takes exactly as the game was from the ISO file in memory when you're currently playing the game. It takes a snapshot of that, and then you just go back to that snapshot. What you want to do is you actually want to load the game properly as it was originally intended to be played. Without the emulator and whatnot when you're playing it on your normal console. So options, save, load the game. Hopefully everything's all good. Such a long time. This is why save states are great, isn't it? Save successful. Fantastic. Cute. Son of a bitch. This is probably just a problem with the hex values. You might have to put down virtual machine. Bring it up again. It has to be so annoying you have to fight it. Yes. I know. I know. I'll just load it directly without going to the save state. Hopefully that is just the problem. So the save state itself might have caused some issues. So I just won't use the save state at all. For now, and just load directly. Blah blah blah. Yep. Yes. There we go. Yes, I know. Blah blah blah. Okay, so I guess loading back to the save state originally when I go into my PCSX2 or whatever, and then loading it, I think it still kept the same original hex values. So don't use your save state at all. It's shut down PCSX2, and then load it how it's supposed to be loaded. Don't use save states at all. And then once everything's all good, then you can just save over it with your save states essentially. I thought that just loading it would be fine after using a save state, but apparently you've got to completely turn off PCXX2 or whatever, and then go back into the game. So open up PCXX2 and then load it normally. So don't use save states at all to fix this problem. Just just load the game regularly. If you don't want to, if you're in an awkward position in the game, just wait until you get to a checkpoint and then save it or whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much fixes the problem. A little bit tedious if you're using save states, but just load the game normally and everything should be all good. Cool. Hopefully this helped you guys, and hopefully it wasn't too awkward for you to do. I know hex values are really specific and kind of annoying, but if it doesn't work, you just do. I'm just gonna exit out of the game now. Doesn't work for you. Oh, yes, I know. Just search for the value, maybe close the file here, do right click close, and then open it the same way that I told you to do it before, and then do a search for that replaced value to, I reopen the bin or .iso or whatever file, and then research for that replaced value that you put in, and double check that that replaced value is as large as what I have here, and that it correlates, that you copied it correctly from here. Do not miss a single hex value here, right? Exactly what I'm highlighting. You want all of that. Don't miss any of it. Yeah, that's it. Hope this helps.